यामुनातीरावनचारी यामुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यामुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा जय राधा माधव श्री राधे जय नवद्वीप धाम जय नवद्वीप धाम जय नवद्वीप धाम जय नवद्वीप धाम जय वृंदावन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल निताय की जय, श्री श्री राधा माधव जी की जय, जय नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि 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 बोल। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितां येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषाभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Welcome everyone. Tonight's Bhagavad Gita class is on the 11th chapter entitled The Universal Form. Text number 14? Yes, 14. Please repeat after me. Tataha sa vismayavisto Rishta Roma Dhananjaya Pranamya Shirasa Devam Kritanjalir Abhashata Tataha sa vismayavisto Rishta Roma Dhananjaya Pranamya Shirasa Devam Kritanjalir Abhashata Tataha sa Vishmayavisto Rishta Roma Dhananjaya Pranamya Shirasa Devam Kritanjalir Abhashata. Anybody else like to try? Tasa Vishmaya Vishto Ajananjaya Pranamya Shirasa Devam Tatahasa Vishmaya Vishto Tataha, thereafter, Saha, he, Vismaya Avishtaha, being overwhelmed with wonder. Rishtaroma, with his bodily hairs standing on end due to his great ecstasy. Dhanam Jaya, Arjun, Pranamya, offering obeisances. Shirasa, with the head. Devam, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krita Anjalihi, with folded hands. Abhashata, began to speak. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjun bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. Purport. Once the divine vision is revealed, the relationship between Krishna and Arjun changes immediately. Before, Krishna and Arjun had a relationship based on friendship. But here, after the revelation, Arjun is offering obeisances with great respect. And with folded hands, he is praying to Krishna. He is praising the universal form. Thus, Arjun's relationship becomes one of wonder rather than friendship. Great devotees see Krishna as the reservoir of all relationships. In the scriptures, there are 12 basic kinds of relationships mentioned, and all of them are present in Krishna. It is said that he is the ocean of all relationships exchanged between two living entities, between the gods, or between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Here Arjun was inspired by the relationship of wonder, and in that wonder, although he was by nature very sober, calm and quiet, he became ecstatic. His hair stood up, and he began to offer his obeisances unto the Supreme Lord with folded hands. He was not, of course, afraid. He was affected by the wonders of the Supreme Lord. The immediate context is wonder. His natural loving friendship was overwhelmed by wonder, and thus he reacted in this way. Mugam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurundinatarinam. Thus, then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjun bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. So, in this section where the universal form is described, several things are happening here. In the beginning, Arjun is asking Krishna, how are you present in everything which you can see in this world, in this external world? So, surprisingly enough, Krishna also mentions how he is present among the devatas, how he is present among the daityas. Anybody knows how Krishna is present among the daityas? Very good. As Prahlad, he is present among the daityas. So, he is present in every level of consciousness. We have 4 levels of consciousness. We have the wake state of the external world. Then we have the dreaming state, in which there is no external world, but there is the internal world. Then you have deep sleep, where also the internal world dissolves, and there is only Atma. But the Atma is in an undeveloped state, it's on the border state. And you have the 4th level, where the spirit's Atma, the spirit's soul, has its original form in relationship with Krishna. And there are different levels. They also correspond to different levels of honor reverence. I'll read you one section here regarding the external consciousness, what Prabhupada says in the Gita. This is from the 13th chapter, text number 5. It's in a purport. Let me see where to start. Okay, this is from the purport of 13.5. The word Chandobhihi refers to the various Vedic literatures. The Taittiriya Upanishad, for example, which is a branch of the Yajurveda, describes nature, the living entity, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated before, Kshetra is the field of activities, and there are 2 kinds of Kshetragya, the individual living entity and the Supreme Living Entity. As stated in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahma Puchcham Pratishtha, there is a manifestation of the Supreme Lord's energy known as Annamaya, dependence upon food for existence. This is a materialistic realization of the Supreme. So food is what? This is a materialistic realization of the Supreme. Anna Brahma. Food is God. And I remember, regarding levels of consciousness, this is basically describing the external level of consciousness, the Jagran, the state of wake. When I was a little kid in school, then I saw that being from an Indian background, then there's these Western boys, sometimes they just got mad and they took an apple and started playing football with it. It is not very nice. And each time they hit with the leg that ball or that apple, it hurt me. Because food has to be respected. That's how I grow up. Food has to be respected. Anna is Brahma. And you cannot, it's giving you life force, it's giving you prana. Don't hit it with your foot again and again. So there's a very low state of consciousness that you cannot respect that which is giving you life. If you cannot even respect an apple, how will you respect a cow? How will you respect a mother? So these are very low levels of consciousness. It's all dealing with the external world. It goes on here. Then in pranamaya, after realizing the supreme absolute truth in food, one can realize the absolute truth in the living symptoms or life forms. So, food is one thing, but realizing that a creature is not just food, it is alive. Like a lion, when it's hunting for a deer, and it grabs the deer, it starts eating the deer, though it's still alive. You can see it on these nature movies. It's horrible. And the deer is still blinking with the eyes and trying to move, and half of his leg is already eaten. There's no way of turning back. There is no operation which can cure the deer anymore. He's bound to die, and he's still not fully dead. You see, a tiger or a lion doesn't see the deer as something alive. It sees it as food. And sometimes humans have also the same tendency. They enjoy like cutting the throat of a chicken, and it is jumping, and he's laughing, these kind of things. One devotee told me, he's from Leeuwarden, from Holland, that he went for a job, and he started associating with the materialists outside. And he was in a car, he was going to work or somewhere he was going, and there was a hare. Hare is actually a larger form of a rabbit. It was crossing the road to go and eat some grass on the other side. And when this man saw that, he started putting a lot of gas on a car, to hit that hare. And he hit it, and the hare died. His fault was he wanted to eat grass. So he stepped out of the car, took that dead hare, and put it in his car because he was going to eat it. And this devotee, he was saying that, you rascal, you demon. But there are people who have no consciousness that it is not food, it's something alive. Can you give it life back as you kill it? No. Consciousness is not developed. These are very low stages of consciousness. They will not be able to understand that prana, life force, is something you cannot create. It is given by Brahma, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like food also. You can think, we can create so many types of food, or biscuits and this and that. But where is the grains coming from? Right? You didn't create grains. You put it in the ground. And God created those grains, that wheat, that rice. You cannot create rice. Actually, I heard China has created rice out of plastic. Plastic rice. Now, how unhealthy it will be. But they're going on like this, trying to compete with God. It's not Anna Brahma, it is plastic Brahma. Really. Old is gold, modern is plastic. Really like that. Then, Prabhupada says here, in Jnanamaya, realization extends beyond the living symptoms to the point of thinking, feeling, and willing. So this is already a very high level of development. In Jnanamaya, realization extends beyond the living symptoms. So beyond prana, just because it's breathing, therefore it's alive. No. One has the point of thinking, feeling, and willing. One is understanding that is also a nature in a person. Everyone here is breathing, right? But if you understand that a deeper understanding that what is alive, pranamaya, is we also have a certain kind of nature. There is a thinking, and there is a feeling, and there's a willing, right? Thinking is your thought patterns. How do you think? Right? You have different planetary systems, planets for that. Like a person ruled by moon is very emotional. a person ruled by sun is very strict and very autocratic. Then you have feeling. Also, feeling is ruled by different natures, different planets. Planets we take because that's generally the scientific way of describing it. Feeling can be also very sentimental or very arrogant. That creates a different kinds of personality in somebody, thinking, feeling, and willing. Willing is your energy as you're projecting it outwards. What do you want in this world? The feeling is how the energy comes in and shapes you as a personality. When you were a little kid, then so many people dealt with you, so many things you learned, and it created a certain impression of the world and a certain kind of conviction. 17th chapter of the Gita deals with that divisions of faith, it's called. That Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. How different types of faith is created, because faith is what makes us live. If there is no more faith, there's no more hope, people then tend to want to stop living. But that faith is created by thinking, feeling, and willing. It shapes you. And therefore, we find people that sometimes they fight because the natures are different. This thinking, feeling, and willing is actually what we describe in Varnashram as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. It is the mental state which is the Brahman, not the body and neither the Atma. It is the mental state which is conditioned. And because it can be changed, therefore in our ISKCON society, we don't take birth as the criterion for being a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, but we think of the psychology. And psychology can be changed because we're busy here with yoga, bhakti yoga. All the time, every day, we're purifying our consciousness and hoping to come to the level of Krishna consciousness. We try to become Krishna in consciousness. That's called Krishna consciousness, right? On the same level as Krishna. Are you ready to do that? Becoming equal in consciousness with Krishna? That is the goal. If you think, oh, I can't do it, then you will never be able to do. You have to go for it. Okay, I'll become equal with Krishna. Because he's not senior to you. You and Krishna are equally same age. You know that? The Jiva, the Atman and Paramatma of the same age. You know that? Both are eternal. Both are eternal. So the difference is he's very big and you're very small. But you're as old as Krishna is. The only thing is you're a big fool and he's not a fool. He can remember many, many lifetimes. But Arjuna, you cannot. And therefore he doesn't fall in Maya. You do. Right? You wanted that. So this is the third level. It's Varanashram basically. The society is structured according to one's nature. And that Varanashram is also given by Krishna. Anybody can quote the verse where Krishna says, I have given Varanashram, I created that. But I know you know the sloka. Anybody else can know where Krishna says that he created Varnashram. Chatur Varnang Maya Srishtham. The four Varnas are created by me. Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. I have divided them according to quality, guna and karma, activity, right? Tasya kartaram apimam. Although I am the creator of that, vidhi akartaram avyayam. But still, I'm not the doer or I'm transcendental to these natures. See, Krishna is always on the level of Atma. But if you cover yourself with a conditioned nature, then you have to get into this thing. Now, if you look in Western society, there is nothing like a structured Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, right? So Western society is not on the level of Jnanamoy, it's on the level of Pranamoy, food and life force. People say sometimes, at least you should not kill, or at least you should be honest. But they have no concept of that psychological natures can be defined, and according to those natures, your duty towards Krishna can be defined. Then you get Varnashram. No concept of that. So he goes on, Prabhupada. Then there is Brahman realization called Vijnanamaya, in which the living entity's mind and life symptoms are distinguished from the living entity himself. So what is this? Then in that higher state, one tries to make a distinction between body and soul and mind. And that is already for many people, oh, that's too esoteric, I cannot understand it. It is, the spiritual things, it's like floating in the sky. Nothing is real. Ever heard such kind of complaints from gross materialists? If you go and preach, especially even if you go among those learned groups, learned people, when you discuss with them on an intellectual level. Oh, they are very happy and very enjoying. But as soon as you start talking about Atma, mind, and they are different, they already start to get a little bit, in difficulty because they can't see it, they can't grasp it. So they feel very uncomfortable. I've seen it many times, very uncomfortable. How is it that you can see something, you feel comfortable in a realm which I also have, but I can't see and you can? I'm a professor and you are not. How is it that you are more advanced in that, They get really, really upset, It becomes difficult now. It is not anymore a PhD or a Nobel Prize, or it is something beyond that. They have to admit that it is there, but they don't want to. So they feel very much uncomfortable. This is the level of Vijnanamaya. When you practice Krishna consciousness, you realize you're not this body. Realize means you can actually see that you're something else. And therefore, mentioning this again and again, the levels of consciousness. We're dealing here with consciousness, right? So be busy always with evolving and going deeper into your consciousness. And then he says, the next and the supreme stage is Anandamaya, realization of the all blissful nature. Thus, there are 5 stages of Brahman realization, which is called Brahma Pucham. Pucham means tail. Brahma's tail. God has a tail. Out of these, the first 3, Anna, Pranamaya, and Jnanamaya, involve the fields of activities of the living entities. Transcendental to all these fields of activities is the Supreme Lord, who's called Anandamaya. So the last state is Anandamaya, right? Of consciousness. So you can see that these 3 levels, Annamaya, Pranamaya, and Manamaya. Okay, you can say Jnanamaya. Sometimes Prabhupada uses the word Jnanamaya, sometimes Manamaya. You can use Manamaya because it's deal with the mind, basically. They are all defining how the external world looks like and how you are interacting with this external world. Kshetra, Kshetragya. We all do that. Okay? So now here Arjun is actually, he wanted to see the universal form of Krishna. He had already in deep relationship, deep loving relationship, but he's actually choosing to see something he should not see, right? When you're in Golok, Dham, why should you wish to see the material world? Why? You all did that, therefore you're here now. What did you do that? Do you remember? You were nicely with Krishna, and all of a sudden you're in the material world. How did it happen? What did you do wrong? See? It is actually shrinking your relationship, your consciousness with Krishna. And most of the religions on the planet, they deal with this Aishwarya mood, that the Supreme Lord is all powerful, we're all small, and some religions have a very strange idea that he's sitting on a cloud, has a long beard, and he's throwing lightning on your head if you don't do what he says. Right? Isn't it? Some have this concept. Many others have a concept that God is just light. He's just light. He doesn't have any hands, he doesn't have any legs, he doesn't have any mouth, he doesn't have any ears. So how does he hear your prayers if he's light only? Isn't it? You can ask those people who think that God is light, does he have ears? How does he hear your prayers actually if he doesn't have ears? How does he hear? If he has no ears, no form, how does he hear? When you're doing prayers to the Supreme Lord, to your Lord, then does he hear your prayers? These are questions people don't want to face. You see? And if he says, yes, he hears, how does he hear? He must have ears, isn't it, to hear? Yeah, he must have ears. So if he has ears, he must have a head also. Not just ears, isn't it? I'm all ears, like Americans say. Yeah, I'm all ears. Is he like that? Or does he have a head also connected with the ears? So if he has a head, he must have a neck also, right? And if he has a neck, he must have shoulders also. And if he has shoulders, he has arms and his belly also, isn't it? Yeah. Great realization, And people think themselves very religious. How can you develop an intimate relationship? Now, these levels of consciousness, as we have seen here, they are cultivated by processes. They are described in Upanishads, but there are processes given, like Acharya Parampara, Sampradaya, we call them in many, many words, can call them. But they give the process how to deepen your levels of consciousness, become aware, be able to see it, be able to live those levels of consciousness, which are now clouded in you. right? And that you do by practice of yoga. So yoga has different aspects to it. We have karma yoga that you do with your body. Higher than that is jnana yoga that you do with body and mind, that the mind is also involved. And higher than that still is bhakti yoga, in which you do along with the atma. So now there are different schools of yoga and they disagree. They say, no, 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 jnana is highest. Some say bhakti is highest. Some say karma is highest. What do you mean by highest? You know? First of all, you have to define, is it highest or is it horizontal? Is it vertical or is it horizontal? As far as consciousness is concerned, if you reason from that level, then the external world of wakeness, as you're observing it here, this is the karma kshetra. You do in this world, you act in this world with your body, right? Body is very important in this world. You have to work with that, you have to walk, you have to use your legs, you have to use your hands, your eyes in order to do something in this world. So that's karma. But if you connect it to Krishna, so you do the same activities, but to please Krishna, it becomes karma yoga. If you don't do it to please Krishna, if you do it to please your wife, it becomes your wife yoga, patani yoga, right? Or children yoga. There's so many things. We might laugh about this, but there is something really called like Stri Dharma, Purusha Dharma. They have made this into a dharma, you know. Patni Dharma. What is the duty, the yoga of the Patni? To be chaste to the husband. That's her yoga. Right? Dharma, yoga. They have made something like that. There was a question when I was in Lucknow. Somebody asked that, is dharma the same as adhyatma? It means, is religion the same as spirituality? Good question. Is it the same? I will answer that later. I'm just continuing now with the levels of consciousness. So, they have made these levels of yoga. Karma yoga is physical activity in order to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And yes, in ISKCON we have a lot of that. We have temples, we have flowers, making flower garlands, we have nice prasad, we're playing the mridanga, we're singing, we're all using our external senses for the service of Krishna. You can say it's karma yoga, right? It is karma yoga. If you are not fully realized in your Atma form, it remains karma yoga, right? Even if you are a brahmachari or a sannyasi, you're part of an ashram, right? But then, as you become more and more realized, you begin somewhere, like you begin with learning the externals, that how you get a bhakta training, you learn externals, and basically you're busy with karma yoga. You have no deeper understanding. Then when you start to read the books, first time you read the books, it's an acquaintance. What is in these books? There are a lot of pages, and there's a lot of Sanskrit, and it is something, it talks to me, I understand maybe 10%, but I still read it, because it's duty. Prabhupada said we should read the books, right? That's the first reading. And then it's gradually, and as you ripen in the years, and you get more purified by external activities, like flower garlands, cleaning the temple, cooking, you're all the time absorbed in Krishna, in your own way. It actually works, you know. You start to understand more and more. Second time you read Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada's books, it's like, hey, I read this somewhere there also, and there is also something. You start linking those chapters. So the second study is more a real study. The first one is like an acquaintance, second is the third study. And when you intellectually are satisfied, there's no more for you, that nothing new is seen there, no more discoveries, then you read the books from the angle of how to apply it. How do I actually live it? How do I actually absorb it and do as the books say? When you come to that level, you're only looking for answers. How to do, how to do, how to do, how to go to the Atmic level, how to go to the Paramatmic level, how to develop my spiritual form. Then you actually are doing Bhakti Yoga. See, from Jnana comes Dhyana. And in the state of Dhyana, there's a lot of questioning. And the questions are not about the external world. The questions are not about how to cook prasad. The question is how to be situated in the self, how to be situated as Atma. When you're situated in that consciousness, and all the time you're trying to understand how you are situated as Atman, you're reaching the level of a spontaneous devotional service called Raganuga Bhakti. So that has to be cultivated. Then you see that karma is there in awake state. Jnana is there in a swapna state. Inside you, or when you are sleeping, then the body is finished. External world awareness is finished. But you're still dreaming. You're not dead. The dreams are evidence that you're still alive. But you are doing activities in the mind. You're not doing activities with the gross body. So activity with the mind means jnana, philosophizing, understanding, speculating. So therefore jnana is higher than karma, because when karma is finished, jnana still remains. Now in deep sleep, there is neither jnana. Why? Because the mind is absent. In deep sleep, you only feel intense calmness. And the Vedanta Sutra mentions that the jiva goes on the lap of Mahavishnu and he's becoming recharged with his blessings. So that is the Atma Paramatma relationship. But it's not fully manifest, so you cannot say it's fully Atma. It's maybe like the border state. So when there is no mind, there is only Atma. And that is bhakti. Right? Bhakti can take help from karma and jnana, because you have to start somewhere, then go deeper and deeper and deeper. And when the day comes that you can wake up on the lap of Mahavishnu, open your eyes without having to go in your gross body, then you're starting actually to come into the transcendental level of bhakti. So when karma is not there, then jnana is higher. When jnana is not there, then bhakti is higher. See? So like that, we can understand what bhakti is. Bhakti goes deeper, very deep, goes to the level of the Atma. And then further, because when you're on the lap of Mahavishnu, you're not liberated yet. You're in deep sleep, but you're not liberated. Right? It's the border. It's the border between spiritual world and this material world. There is an ocean called Karana Ocean, ocean of causes. And that ocean is within a river called Viraja River. And that Viraja River is like a soap bell, but huge. It's not just like you can break it. No. It's a huge river in which there is an ocean, the Karana Ocean. And to cross that river is what we call crossing Bhavasagar, trying to cross the ocean of birth and death, right? And you don't have any power to cross that river. Like yesterday I was discussing in class how Kevat, a great devotee of Ramachandra, was telling him, listen, I don't take any remuneration for my bringing you across the river. Because Ramachandra, Lakshman and Sita, they were going into Vanvas, into the forest life for 14 years. And they had to cross the river, the Ganga. And this Kevat came with his boat. And when he crossed them, then Ram said, okay, take this ring. This is your payment for the boat. He said, no, I don't take this. He said, why? Because you and me are the same. You're a boatman, I'm a boatman. The only difference is I cross the Ganga and you cross the causal ocean. You cross the big river, the Viraja River. So I have crossed you, the Ganga. When I come to your boat, you please cross me the ocean of material birth and death. He was saying, great devotee. So that crossing can only be done if you have some relationship. Some manage to cross that river and go into the Brahman realm. But even they who cross the Brahman realm, cross the river and go into the Brahman realm on their own strength, they have taken help from bhakti. Why? Because without bhakti, the 5 types of liberation are not possible. 5 types of liberation are possible by bhakti. One is sayujya, merging into the light, becoming one with the light. What many people think in India is the highest. And they gave those sannyasis who are wanting to merge in the light, they gave them the highest respect. But there are 4 types of other muktis: sarishti, sarlokya, samipya, and sarupya. Having the same form as Vishnu, with 4 arms, having the same opulences as Vishnu, right? Same richness, the same planet, sharing the same planet, and samipya, being very close to the Lord. This is beyond Brahman, it's condensed Brahman. But not everyone has knowledge of that, see? Because it's all in Aishwarya, all in the majestic realm. So, but those who want to merge in Brahman, they know, in order to go there, I have to cross that ocean. And I can only cross that ocean if I have some bhakti, even if it is fake bhakti, right? Therefore Shankaracharya told his scholars, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Modhamate, Samprapte Sannihita Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karne. By your grammatical twisting of meanings of the Shastras, you will not be able to save yourself. You must have devotion to Govinda. And you see, Mayavadis also will chant Govinda Nam. Alakh Niranjan, Bhava Bhaya Bhanjan, Narayan, Shri Narayan. That's how their kirtans are, But they take shelter of Narayan because they know, I cannot cross. He will cross me. And then he can merge into the light and he doesn't need Narayan anymore. He throws away Narayan. That is their idea. But that's not real bhakti. It's fake bhakti. But still, in order to attain one of these types of mukti, you need bhakti. I've seen it many times discussing with Nirakarvadis. in Bharata. Yeah, they say, yeah, we accept bhakti, but it's one step lower than, merging in the light. They use bhakti for mukti, uh, which is partially true because the other levels of mukti, Sarishti, Samipya, are also reached through bhakti. But the thing here is, in Sayujya, bhakti is finished. No more bhakti, because you have become the supreme, right? Right. But in the other four types of mukti, bhakti continues. And as it continues, it becomes very much shiny. And as bhakti deepens in these levels of consciousness, one also finds that different qualities of Krishna are being revealed to the jiva. It says that when you analyze the devatas up to Lord Brahma, they have 50 very attractive qualities. And therefore they are called also devatas. Those who give light, who are shiny. Devata can also mean one who gives you benedictions. What is that? What is coming from? Da dhatu, right? Devata. Isn't it? When you, you ask me how much Sanskrit you know. So, Div is also one way to describe a Devata, which means one who shines, and Da also one who gives. So, Devatas are like that. When it comes to the Devata level, I will read to you how many qualities they have, what the qualities the Devatas have. Because they are part of Krishna. Devatas are part of Krishna, you cannot separate them. And they have certain qualities which are very attractive. Listen to this. Srila Rupa Goswami, after consulting various scriptures, has enumerated the transcendental qualities of the Lord as follows. This is Krishna's qualities, right? He is one, beautiful features of his entire body. So Krishna is known for his beauty, of course. He's that form which everyone likes. Second is, he's marked with all auspicious characteristics, right? If you look in the Samudrika Shastra, the scriptures describing what different bodily features mean, then there are auspicious and inauspicious features, like that. So, how the eyes are shaped, how the ear is shaped, how the nails of the feet and of the hands are shaped, how the fingers are shaped, all have meaning. All are done, all are given by Brahma through certain karma and certain qualifications, like that. So, Krishna's all his features are all auspicious. He has no karmic mistakes. We have karmic mistakes, right? Somebody's born and one eye is smaller than the other one. Somebody's born and the mouth is a little bit twisted. Somebody's born with maybe the nose is a little bit bigger than the other side here. So these are all karmic mistakes. And you're meant to get them when your karma was not shining in your last life. Then you get such kind of features, you see. So Krishna has none of these mistakes. The third one is extremely pleasing, and he is effulgent. He is very strong and ever youthful. He is a wonderful linguist. So Krishna knows how to describe things, how to speak in many, many ways. It is very pleasing. He is truthful. He talks pleasingly. He is fluent, highly learned, highly intelligent, a genius, an artistic, extremely clever, expert, grateful, firmly determined, an expert judge of time and circumstances. And this is something we always try to look for. Devotees, they also, in Indian culture, we try to always go to a Panditji. Panditji, can you find out what is the right muhurta to do this activity? Because for every activity, there is a good time and there's an inauspicious time, like that. So, but he doesn't need any Panditji, Krishna. He knows, because he's the creator of time, right? He sees and speaks only on the authority of the Vedas or scriptures. He is pure, he is self-controlled, steadfast, forbearing, forgiving, grave, self-satisfied, possessing equilibrium, magnanimous, religious, heroic, compassionate, respectful, gentle. He is liberal. Krishna is shy. Can you imagine? After being so qualified, Krishna is shy. Shyness is also a good quality. We don't see it in Kali Yuga, we don't believe it in Kali Yuga. But it says that for a woman, the greatest jewel is her shyness, right? Especially Indian dress is meant for shyness, right? Not only female dress, but also male dress. Male used to cover their head with a turban, right? And the way you dress your lower part of the body is meant for covering those parts which should not be seen. And the opposite of that is called a legging, Nowadays, people, they want to wear this legging. It's very tight on the skin. It's basically walking around naked because all bodily features are visible. But there is a cloth over it, you see. It's all meant for rajagun, sensuality. That is not clothed in a mode of goodness. Clothed in a mode of goodness, that emanates respect. If a woman wears a sari or a gagra choli, and if a man wears a dhoti, and he wears a bagalbandhi or a kurta or whatever you call it, sherwani, it creates a lot of respect in the mind. Because the culture of goodness is having respect for each other. Or a chadar, a Brahmanical chadar he wears. So this was given by the rishis because they can understand what types of dress creates what types of impression, what type of vibration in the mind, what kind of emotion it creates, right? Like that. So Krishna, being very expert, he's shy at the same time, you see. And he is the protector of surrendered souls. He's happy. He's the well-wisher of devotees. He's controlled by love, all auspicious, foremost, most powerful, all famous, popular, and partial to his devotees, very attractive to all women, all worshipable, all opulent, all honorable, the supreme controller. So all these qualities which I just read here, there are 50 qualities. The jivas, we can all possess these qualities. And if you do that, then you can actually occupy the post of Brahma. If you don't have these qualities, you don't have the right piety, you cannot be Brahma. Hiranyakashipu tried to be Brahma. He tried to become like, powerful as Brahma and throw him off his asan and become Brahma himself. So, but he failed. Because if you're envious, if you're lusty, you cannot be Brahma. But these are the maximum amount of qualities of these 50, because there is degrees, you can have them. These are manifest in Brahma, the creator, the grandfather of every living entity. So, then, 5 more qualities, if you have 5 more than these, you enter into a realm called Shiva, Shiva Tattva, right? So, Brahma is a jiva, just like we are, living in this world, an Atma. But if there is something more added to that, he's not Vishnu, neither is a jiva, in between, you get something like Shiva Tattva. And the 5 qualities added to that, which is changelessness, all cognizant, ever fresh, Satchid Ananda, possessing an eternal blissful body, and 5, possessing all mystic perfections. This is typical, we're entering now in Shiva's realm. He's the Yogeshwara. He's Ishvara and the best of the yogis. And he's known to be all cognizant. He knows everything. He's ever fresh. He's Sachidananda. So then you get into Shiva's realm, 55 qualities. Now, when you cross that even, 55 up to the 60, we enter into the realm of Vishnu, right? Vishnu is that person which Shiva is worshipping through his nama. He's always having a mala, a beads he has, and he's chanting Vishnu's names. That is, he has inconceivable potency. He is uncountable universes generate from his body. Sometimes people wonder, this Baba with the long beard, he's saying he's God. And people believe it. You go, you get some blessings, you give 10 rupees, you get some blessing. And if you have some pain somewhere, he will bless you. He must be God. So no. He can create gold, therefore he's God. But see what God is doing here. Uncountable universes are generating from his body. Ask those Babas who say they are God. Can you just create one universe from your body? It says here, God is creating universes from his body. He is the original source of all incarnations. He is the giver of salvation to enemies who he kills. He is the attractor of all liberated souls. So, these are qualities unique for Lord Vishnu. Now, why do we say that Krishna is the highest? Because, we are just mad after Krishna and ISKCON? No, there is another criteria here. Rupa Goswami is our Acharya. He mentions, yes, regarding Aishwarya, means like lordliness, royalty, power. Yes, Vishnu has all that. But Krishna has 4 qualities which you don't find in Vishnu. And we are measuring somebody's supremacy from that angle, from the angle of rasa and love. We Gaudiya Vaishnavas believe that there is nothing more powerful than prema, love. And because Krishna is the supreme identity of prema, he must be the highest. Not judging by power. We don't care for power. We care for prema. And even further than that, because Srimati Radharani's prema is more than Krishna's prema, she is in our line the supreme. We have more Radhe Radhe than we have Krishna Krishna here. It's obvious. When Radha and Krishna belong in one body, is that body blue color? No. It is golden color, Srimati Radharani's color. That shows that her emotions are more strong than Krishna has the emotions for her. So, when it comes to qualities and intensity of prema, Srimati Radharani even surpasses Krishna. And that's why in our line, which is the prema marga, we have prema yoga here. We don't even have bhakti yoga, we have prema yoga. When it comes to prema yoga, then Srimati Radharani is supreme. In order to get that prema yoga, we have to worship her. That is our path. So there are 4 qualities, even surpassing Vishnu's qualities, which only Krishna has. And that is that he's a performer of wonderful varieties of pastimes. See, the pastimes which Krishna has is like he's wrestling with his cowherd boyfriends, the Gopas. He is being chased by Mother Yashoda with a stick. These things you don't find with Narayan. Narayan needs to incarnate in order to fight. Therefore, his gatekeepers, Jai Vijay, were being cursed. The original cause for that was that they had stopped Lakshmi Devi from entering Vaikuntha. So then Vishnu wants to do some exercise and he needs some demons. So then his devotees incarnate and he also incarnates. He has to go to earth in order to do some exercise. But Krishna doesn't have to go to earth. If he wants to wrestle, there are so many Gwalas who can defeat him even. If he wants to dance, then there is Kaliya's hoods he can dance upon. Narayan doesn't do all of that. So these are his unique pastimes. He is surrounded by devotees endowed with wonderful love for Godhead. The amount of love the Brajavasis showed for Krishna, it's not seen in Narayana's Vaikuntha Loka. That the gopis were even ready to die. Let that chariot drive over our bodies. If you want to take Krishna to Mathura, then that is the condition you have to do. You have to drive over our bodies. And even if our bodies, they cut in 2 pieces, we don't care, because what is the use of living when Krishna is not in Braj, right? That kind of love you don't have in Vaikuntha. You don't have that. It's only in Goloka. Krishna can attract all living entities all over the universe by playing his flute. This flute playing, Narayana doesn't do any flute playing. He has a wonderful, excellence of beauty, which cannot be rivaled anywhere in the creation. See, Krishna's beauty is amazing. It's unlimited. Even Narayana wants to see his beauty. And therefore, we find in the Bhagavatam that one time Narayana was stealing the children of a Brahman. Yes, what happened in Dwarka, it happened like that. A Brahman would come to the court with his dead child and would blast Ugra saying, "You rascal, you're not a king, you're impious. How can it be that my child dies before the father? A child's son should not die before the father. This is not Kali Yuga yet, this is Dwapara Yuga yet. You must be very sinful. Therefore my child is dying." The Brahman was blasting him. And Ugrasen Maharaj couldn't do anything, He was neglecting, so what to do? The Brahman is right, he's quoting scripture. That's the right of the Brahman, if he chastises, there's always Shastra. Brahman always speaks Shastra, always Satya. Satya is the weapon of a Brahman. He didn't know what to do. Arjuna was looking around in Dwaraka. This Samba sitting there, Prajumna sitting there, Balaram is sitting there, nobody's reacting to this Brahman. What's happening? Arjuna stood up. He said, "I'm not Balaram, I'm not Prajumna. I'm Arjun, Gandhivdhari Arjun. I will protect you. I will make a vow that, next time your child is born, I'll protect him." So the Brahman was, "Oh, very nice." And then the child was born, and during the birth, Arjun took up his weapons and by his arrows, he made a dome around that house of the Brahman that no force could enter to kill the child. So the child came out and it was alive, and they were very happy, and all of a sudden it started to die. And when the child died, this Brahman looked at Arjun. "You rascal, you eunuch, Balaram couldn't protect, Prajumna couldn't protect, Krishna didn't protect, and I believe this eunuch here? I'm so stupid and foolish." He was blasting Arjun also. So Arjun said, let's wait. Arjun went through all of the 3 Trilokya. He went to Yamraj, finding the child. It's not there. He went to Shivaloka. He went to Brahmaloka. Nowhere he could find. Because he has made the vow, if I don't protect this child, I will jump into the fire. And when he went through all of the universe, because so much power Arjun has, yeah, then you can make such a vow. And he returned without the Atma of the child. He told Krishna, I have to go into the fire. I went to Yamraj's planet and went to Shiva's planet. I went to different planets and asked where the jiva is. Nobody knows where the jiva is. So I have no choice than to, this is not Kali Yuga where people promise something and don't do. This is Dwapara and this is Arjun. What he says, he does. So he was preparing to go and to jump into the fire. Krishna, no, I know where it is. Come with me. Let us go. And Krishna took Arjun on his chariot. And the chariot went up into the sky. It was not going horizontal, it was going up into the sky and crossing that mountain, which is the border where the sunlight ends, Loka mountains. And behind that mountains, the sunlight is not present, it's all darkness. So the horses of Krishna's chariot, they were a little bit hesitant to go through the darkness. So Krishna sent Sudarshan Chakra in front of him to enlighten that realm, Aloka Varsha. And beyond that, he went through all the 7 layers of the universe. Krishna traveled with Arjun. And then they came into the palace, into the realm of Mahavishnu, which I was talking about in the beginning of the class. And there, Mahavishnu said, you're actually my expansions because you entered the world through, he's the gate, right? Mahavishnu is the gate. Everyone comes through Mahavishnu. But I was very eager to see you two. I'm very happy that you have come here. See, I took those children in order to force you to give darshan. Narayan is saying he forced Arjuna and Krishna to come and give him darshan by stealing the atmas. See? And in this way, I will revive those children and Brahman will be happy. So you find here that even Narayan is eager to see Krishna's form. Right? So that's the thing here. And therefore, understanding what is the psychology, what is actually happening to Arjun here, he is in an intimate relationship with Krishna. And now he's seeing the Aishwarya form, the lordly form, the Ishvara form, controller form, punishing form. And he becomes afraid like that. So his rasa is changing. So Prabhupada says here very nicely, what is that? Krishna is the reservoir. In the scriptures, there are 12 basic kinds of relationships mentioned. And all of them are present in Krishna. See? With Krishna, there are 5 basic relationships. There is a neutral relationship, appreciation. Then there is servanthood, you want to serve Krishna. Then there is friendship, equality. Then there is feeling elderly than Krishna, parents. And there is that you have fallen in love, like conjugal relationship. But besides these, there are 7 secondary relationships. They're like hasyaras. When Krishna makes jokes, you start to laugh. Like Madhu Mangal has a great, he has a great taste for making jokes in order to make Krishna laugh, hasyaras. There is also Bhishma. When he saw Krishna, he saw, wow, what a great hero. Bhishma didn't look at his beauty. He just was amazed with the curly hair of Krishna, the drops of sweat, some dust was there, and he's driving Arjun's chariot. Great. Even on the battlefield, he's beautiful. And how Krishna fought. He took up this chariot. He turned into Sudarshan Chakra, wanted to kill Bhishma. So there's Viraras. These are secondary relationships which are possible. And Krishna can accommodate all of those relationships. Especially like Sakhya. Other forms of Vishnu are there, but you cannot embrace Lord Vishnu. Like in Ramachandra's Leela, the only one who could say he's equal was Sugriva, nobody else. Sugriva was a Sakha, was a friend. Hanuman is in Dasyaras. Also Vibhishan is in Dasyaras. Nobody else can actually embrace Ramachandra, not even Lakshman. Right? At the end of the Ramayana, he says that, Lakshman, you do as I say, bring Sita to the forest. Like that. So a rasa or relationship is then a little bit shrunken. Right? But with Krishna, all relationships can be accommodated. And therefore, because he's Raseshwar, he is the topmost personality of all rasas, we measure him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of everything. Because in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, prema is the origin of everything. And you see, when prema shrinks, then grandeur, Aishwarya, royalty expands. But then prema is reducing, reducing, reducing. Where prema is the most, that is the highest. Where prema is least, that is the lowest. That's in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Whereas most of the religions have this, that where grandeur is highest, and where prema is lowest, they think that is higher, right? So that's not our concept. We look from the transcendental angle and we find prema to be the measurement for what is higher and what is lower. So it's time. I'll end here my class. Any questions or comments you have, you can ask.
You said you were going to tell us the difference between religion and spirituality.
Oh yes, very good. Well, when you look at religion, let us define religion according to Western term. Because when you take Indian definitions, you can it in Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is many times it's talking about different dimensions at the same time. Dharma can mean, like, if you take a religion to be dharma, dharma can be on the level of the body, mind, and atma. Because bathing in the morning is also dharma. Brushing your teeth is also dharma, right? Dressing your body properly is also dharma. Otherwise you can be punished even, because you're an adharmi. If you come walking in here without underwear, then you're an adharmi, you'll be punished, right? So taking care of the body is also dharma. Then dealing with your parents properly, relationships, respecting the king, respecting politicians. This is also dharma. How to deal with each other. You should not call your mother bad names. You should not steal. See, so these are other stages, mental dharma, manodharma. But then you also have atyatmic dharma, the dharma of the level of the atma. It's like the body is fed with food, external food. The mind is fed with nice relationships with your friends and family. How is the atma fed? The atma is fed by chanting Hare Krishna, by coming to Mangalarti, by doing things for Krishna with love, not with antagonism or with some kind of bad feeling. No, with nice, because he's always atma. And when you feel satisfaction with serving with Krishna, that means you're feeding your atma. When you do that one, the last one, it is spiritualism. It is adhyatmikta. When you do the other things, it is dharma. You can say it's religion, like that. So specifically on that level, we speak about adhyatmikta because it deals with the atma. Now, this is the Vedic understanding between religion. Now, religion comes from religare. Religare is a Latin word for making a connection. So now yoga has exactly the same meaning. Yoga means to make a connection. And when you do that on bodily or mentally or atmically, the point is the same. But in vocabularically meaning from the vocabulary, religion, as people practice in Europe, religion is something you cannot prove. If you can prove it, it's a science. That's not the religion anymore. So religion is a belief, it's an opinion you have, something you hold on to, so that you're more, focused in your life. But that's not what we describe as dharma. Dharma is derived from the very famous saying, dharma rakshati rakshitaha. If you protect dharma, dharma will protect you. Right? So what does dharma do with you? It maintains you. It divines your duties. It gives you protection. Protection, maintenance. So actually dharma means, according to the Sanskrit meaning, would mean dharyate iti dharma. That what maintains you, that is dharma. So if it maintains your body, it's also dharma. If it maintains your mind, it's also dharma. And if it maintains your atma, it's also dharma. So dharma can be seen from different angles. And in this way, when it comes to spirituality, when it is focusing mostly on moksha dharma, dharma, artha, kama, moksha dharma, then we speak about spirituality, adhyatmikta. The other things can be mixed with other things also, like on the level of dharma, then you have stri dharma, you have pati dharma, putra dharma, mano dharma. All these things are there to maintain that level of consciousness. Prabhupada puts it like this also in the introduction of the Gita. Dharma is that by which uh, a certain thing is understood. So like sugar is understood by its sweetness, fire by its illuminating and heating power. Without that quality, fire has no meaning, sugar has no meaning. So similarly, what is then Atma Dharma? What is always with the Atma, by which Atma is identified? Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defines it. He says, Jiver Swarupahai Krishner Nityadas. That's the actual qualification. Now, it can be debated. Why Krishna only? Why not Narayana? Now, people will do like that, especially Indians. Why not Rama? Why only Krishna? Because the fullest manifestation of Rama, the fullest manifestation of Vishnu, you can even say the fullest manifestation of Shiva is Krishna. Because he is a guna avatara of the original, of Krishna. As we have seen, Narayan is another manifestation of Krishna. But we are going for the topmost. So therefore, Jivar Swarupa hai Krishner Nityadas. Now you can decide how much Krishna you want. 64 qualities of Krishna, or 60, or 55, or 50, or even less than that. Because Krishna is also food, Krishna is also prana, Krishna is also intellect and your conditioned nature. And Krishna is also vijnana, which means like being able to understand the difference between body and soul, body and atma. And Krishna is also anandamaya. So you can choose in which way you want to have this Krishna. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sadaiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasaha. In this way you can define all of that. And in this way, does it answer your question? Good, huh? Okay. Anything else? Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Sunday election class.
I don't know, because Maharaj is coming, and maybe Maharaj will do. Also, this Prabhuji is staying till Sunday, I think also. So maybe one of them will give.
It would be good with this lecture for many guests to hear in this lecture.
But next class is Radhashtami. It must be regarding Shmiti Radharani.
Probably next.
Oh, you heard a lecture?
Huh?
You heard a lecture?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is very good lecture for guests and for you also to understand what is Dharma, who is Vishnu, Krishna, and so many things.
Okay.
Many important things. Well, thank you.
I didn't prepare actually. It just came spontaneously today. I was just like,
this is very useful.
what to do?
Very useful to the topic.
How rasa changes from. Yeah, actually in that purport everything is mentioned. That's why I got this inspiration. That very purport. Good idea. I can see the next class. I already have something in mind. What to say about Shmiti Radharani.
Exactly this theme, this topic. Very useful. And then that could change mind practically. What I need to do? Where I am?
Where I'm related to Krishna.
That's right. So we need to go further. We need to go to
I'll do my best.
not just it's my comfortable zone. So worshiping to demigods. It's okay.
Yeah, practice about that. That's worship. Okay, I want to give you back that